2006 Dodge Ram Mega Cab 2500 with the Hemi in it. And I use it to tow this or haul this pop-up camper. Had to replace the rear springs with the heavier duty spring pack, and then of course when I installed it, made the silly mistake of tightening down the bushings when it was up in the air, and so that's something you don't do, right? And then after less than a year, they failed. Well, they didn't fail, but they're just making a terrible sound, and they look like crap. So I need to push out the old bushings and put in new ones. And I thought, you know what? Rather than removing the U-bolts and pulling the whole spring pack out and pressing it out that way, what if I do it one side at a time? And so I left this side here bolted in, but it's loosened. Unbolted this side and had to do it on both sides because it wouldn't come down far enough otherwise. I also had to, this is the driver's side e-brake. I had to go underneath here, loosen it, and then pull it out so that I could actually get enough slack from this tube to drop this down without pulling this out. And so walked over to the other side, did the same thing. On the other side, the e-brake is not in the way. So the trick with this is you have to support the drive shaft, whatever this is, losing my words right now, with a jack here. If I let it go all the way, it would just go all the way to the ground. So I suspect that here's my drive shaft. The drive shaft is able to handle this this angle right now. I'm not going to do anything with it, not turn it on or anything. So it's obviously at a much lower angle than it's usually at. I also removed the bolts from the springs here. So honestly, the only thing supporting this whole rear suspension is a bolt for the spring pack on each side and the drive shaft, and the jack. So I actually set it down on these jacks, these smaller jack stands here, so that the rear axle is supported on those. And I was able to press this out with that, my ball joint removal tool. This, I had to drill a bunch of holes and work it out. And now I'm at this point here, hammering and chiseling away. Hopefully it'll pop out soon. Okay, a couple more hits and it's out. I used the hacksaw to make a cut right here close. I actually come in from behind and from on top, and that's what allowed me to split it right there. I've been hacking it with that chisel, this chisel, and this bar. Those three things, the sledgehammer, and honestly, it was less work than I thought it would be. It's coming. Okay, and just like that, a few more hits, and it's out. There's the sleeve. So now I'm gonna clean this up and put in, I've got my polyurethane bushings here. Put these in. Okay, finally got both sides of the front done. So I actually did the Teflon tape trick between the inner sleeve and the bushing, and I did the other side as well. Problem with the other side was that on the old bushing, I had to hammer from the inside to get it out, and I didn't have space because of the muffler, and I didn't want to bust my already fragile muffler, so I ended up banging it through this way, but it took a ton of effort. So I know I'm going to have to do it again when I get to the other side of the spring over there. But so far, I think it's going to be good. So now I'm going to jack it back up, which should help raise these into position. bolt them in, and then I'll unbolt the back and continue. Okay, one more thing. I'm at a very slight angle here, and the axle has moved backwards, so I can't get it into position. So I have a come along, as you can see, and let's see if we can't get it to line up. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Just gonna drop the axle back down, 1/2 inch, and we'll be in. All right, front's back in. Working on the back, got both sides out. I had to take the spare tire out to get access so that I could bang them out. Pulled the shackles out, so now I have to press out the shackles and get those removed. And then I'm gonna clean up all my bolts and put it all back together. Yeah, pressing out the bushings, using this hitch vise has definitely made things easier.